Cold, cranky.
Awesome!
I must be too
Hungry!
hungry, yes. I slept like a baby, wet and cold last night. By the way, if you laugh, I'll feel better. I'm Peter Pixie, your master of ceremonies for the Blackstone stage. There are two types of people right now at this fair. The ones who are about to get their money's worth and the ones not sitting here right now.
Right.
So you are very, very fortunate to see one of the best acts I've ever worked with on the Ren Fair circuit. I've been doing this for a few years. I mostly do conventions. By the way, in your flyer you will find there's advertisements for the Encounters Convention, Anime Festival Wichita, and a few other events, most of which I will be hosting. So I hope to see you there. They are good events. They have to be, I'm there. So, but this isn't about me, folks. This is about some of the best talent you're going to see, and that right here is going to happen on the Blackstone stage. You guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. From Kansas City, performing in his fourth year?
This is my fifth season.
Fifth season, doing this full-time for your entertainment. Please, welcome to the stage, here from Show Good Wichita, welcome to Crazy Boy Coy!
Yay! Awesome!
Come on in, have a seat, don't be shy. If you sit in the front row, you're providing a public service. In case something goes wrong, you're creating a human barrier for the people behind you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Children, we're going to start by teaching you a little stunt. It's not a trick. You see, I don't do tricks, I do stunts. Magicians do tricks, they try to trick you. I do stunts. Everything you see on this stage is 100% real. I am 100% real. I'm a real person. Really? I'm actually here right now.
Well, half.
Well, half. Three quarters. And this is a real show. Lords and ladies, I am a full-time professional entertainer. It's true. It's what I do for a living. I have a job to perform as a full-time professional entertainer. My job is to help you guys have a good time. Now, your job as a full-time audience is to have a good time. If you feel like you can have a good time, say yes!
Yes!
If you do not feel like you can have a good time, leave.
Right.
Sit down. Now that we've got that out of the way, your second job
Why'd you
as
stop?
an
That felt
audience is to applaud and make noise anytime you see something you like.
Woo!
Cheap thrills, sir, cheap thrills. Now, like I said, this is a slightly educational show. Children, we're going to start off by teaching you a stunt. We're going to start off by teaching you something called linear object balancing. That's where you take an object that's linear. That means in a line, sir. Linear object balancing. You take an object that's linear like this tiny baseball bat. This is from my time as a bouncer at the daycare. You take a linear object like this tiny bat, place it in the middle of your hand, and here is the key. Is you stare at the top of the object. Don't stare at your hand, but if you stare at the top of the object, you can balance it.
Ooh.
I can tell you're semi-impressed. Keep in mind, lords and ladies, you can't do it. It gets better. We're gonna do the exact same stunt with a small but significant difference. We're gonna use a slightly different object. Instead of the tiny baseball bat, we will use the flaming torch. And instead of balancing it on my hand, I will attempt to balance it on my foot.
What?
I know.
What? All right.
I call this, lords and ladies, a really good way to light your knee on fire. That stunt was so good, I give it 2 thumbs up. I call this next one the roof. The roof. The roof is on fire. The Olympic passing of the torch. Statue of Liberty. And if you're old enough to remember, disco. 1570s. If you don't like my jokes, I give you the finger. The family-friendly version of that joke. The one that's only applicable at the Renaissance Fair. My impression of a belly dancer.
Well, we need more wind.
I know, right?
Right?
I should have warmed up.
Hey!
Wait. I can do better. Hold on. Oh, I gotta get my lighter back. I got one more, lords and ladies, one more impression. I call it the seal. It gets better. Watch the hands.
Yes, hands.
It gets better. Watch my foot, my left foot, my left, not yours. That's this one over here. Watch the left foot. It gets better.
Trick tour.
It gets better. The exact same trick. Sorry, the exact same stunt with a small but significant difference. Instead of balancing the flaming torch on my face, I'm gonna attempt to balance the ladder on my base. Yeah. You guys can come in closer. I'm much bigger up close. I'm funnier too. Lords and ladies, there's an applause point built into this next stunt. It's when I let go of the ladder.
So what's happening? What's happening to the balance? That's amazing.
It gets better! Watch the hands! It gets better! Lords and ladies, this next stunt is incredibly difficult. It requires every single muscle in the human body, and it requires my intense concentration. So I ask that you hold your applause until the appropriate time. There is an applause point built into this next stunt. You'll know it when you see it. Here we go.
Look at this!
Lords and ladies, do we have any jugglers in the audience? Show of hands. Anybody know how to juggle? No? Well, yes, me. Yeah, good. She pointed at me. No jugglers in the audience. Good. You should be easy to impress. All right. Lords and ladies, we're going to juggle some regular juggling objects. At the end of the show, we'll be juggling some irregular juggling objects. Now, normally when you juggle, it takes 3 balls, and it looks like this.
Ooh. Ah.
Oh, well, the drunks are impressed. Okay. No, this is regular juggling. This is regular juggling. Do you know there's backwards ways of juggling? For instance, if you juggle them backwards, it looks like this. And nobody cares. Okay, good. There's more difficult ways of juggling backwards. For instance, with arms crossed. And if you don't care for that, apparently half of you do not. Other arms crossed. My personal favorite way of juggling backwards. You're welcome. Ladies. The most difficult way of juggling backwards involves juggling using only the back of your hands. We'll attempt to juggle 3 objects without catching them. It sounds impossible, but that's my job. To do the impossible, indeed. I will attempt to juggle...
If you do it, then it's not impossible.
Right? It's impossible for everybody else.
I will attempt to juggle 3 balls using only the back of my hands. I call this stunt 3 balls, no palms. That one takes a second, I know. 3 balls, back of the hands. If you appreciate the difficulty of this trick, please applaud. When I do the trick, yeah. Stunt. If you do not appreciate the difficulty of the stunt, please applaud. See how that works? About had a heart attack.
That would have been the best part.
Oh, well, I did not. I should have, though. Now I've totally lost where I was. All right. So that's 3 ball juggling. Did you guys know that 2 balls in one hand is actually more difficult than 3 balls in 2? Yeah, it looks like this. I can tell you're kind of impressed. Perhaps you will all applaud if I add in the 3rd ball. It's not working, okay. How about now? I juggle 2 balls in one hand. I take the 3rd ball. That's this one over here, for those of you paying attention. And those of you who graduated high school. The 3rd ball goes. I have no idea how this trick works. But now my 2 balls are magnetized. I know. I call this screw you, Isaac Newton. Okay. Enough 3-ball juggling, lords and ladies. Would you be impressed if I added a 4th ball?
Yeah!
About half of you. Sir, if you could uncross your arms, it's a lot of pressure on you. Perhaps all of you will be impressed if I added in a 5th ball.
Ooh,
5-ball juggling. 5-ball juggling. Starts with 2 balls in one hand and 2 balls in the other hand. Some of you ladies might be familiar with this. If your kids get my jokes, not my fault. You raised them. 2 balls in one hand, 2 balls in the other. Ball number 5 goes on the foot. I do my Karate Kid impression. I give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1. When I get to 1, everybody say hop. I kick ball number 5 into the air, into a 5-ball juggle. Let's practice your part. 3, 2, 1. Hop! Very good, very good. Sir in the back, I didn't hear you. Yes, you. You can participate as well. I won't judge. Lords and ladies, ball number 5 into the air. In 3, 2, 1.
Up!
And the crowd goes mild. I know what some of you are thinking. That doesn't look like 5-ball juggling. That's because I'm throwing 2 at a time. What other jugglers call splits. I call it cheating. Or 5-ball juggling the easy way. Make some noise, you want to see 5-ball juggling the hard way. Very well. 5-ball juggling the hard way. In 3, 2, 1.
Up!
All right, you're a little slow. How about everybody this time? 3, 2, 1.
Up!
Not bad for a guy who can't feel his fingers. Would you like to see 5-ball juggling the harder way?
Yeah!
Go to Vegas. What do you want from me? Go to Ren Fair, people. Come on.
You offered.
I'm kidding. Can you catch?
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. 1. You want a ball? All right. Ball number 2. Ball number 3. Ball number 4.
Ow,
Ball number 5. All right. Now hold on to those. Don't squeeze them. I'll go blind. All right. The harder way. Involves what appears to be an ordinary cylinder and an ordinary board. When combined in the appropriate manner, they magically transform into what I like to call a rolling board of death.
Ah!
Some of you have been to my show before.
Yes, we have.
Constant.
Lords and ladies, 5-ball juggling the harder way. Oh, I gotta grab one thing. I forgot.
How can you do this?
I just thought of this trick about a month ago. Sorry, this stunt about a month ago. We're gonna try to do something brand new. I'm gonna attempt to stand on top of the rolling board, juggle 5 balls, and include this very awkward club. We'll get there. I know, you're curious. I can tell. I can tell. Lords and ladies, there's 2 ways I can get on the rolling board. One is kind of safe and slow. The other, slightly more dramatic and dangerous. My round of applause. Who would like to see me get on the board the safe and slow way? Some people care about me. Who would like to see the slightly more dramatic and dangerous way? You people are sick. The slightly more dramatic and dangerous way is both feet at the same time. I will balance the board with my hand, jump up in the air and land on the board with both feet at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
But first, a quick photo opportunity.
No.
You're welcome. Lords and ladies, on the board. In 3, 2, 1.
Up!
People. You have one line in my occupation. One line. Try to keep up. Let's try it again. On the rolling board. In 3, 2, 1.
Up!
It may not have looked that dramatic and dangerous to you. You should have seen it from my point of view. Now, kids, with the ball, stand up. Stay right where you are. That's perfect. That's a good distance. Ball number 1. Very nicely done. Ball number 2. Excellent. Ball number 3.
Aim for the crotch.
A quick disclaimer. Children, avoid this area. All right, and avoid this area too. Ball number 4. Oh, underhand. I like that. And ball number 5. Thank you. Give them a round of applause. Now, for the curious, awkward club. You're wondering why it's called the awkward club, sir?
Sure.
Yeah, this is why. It makes it extremely more difficult to stay on top of the board, and it makes it a little bit awkward for everybody involved. Now, lords and ladies, I'm going to attempt to juggle 5 balls while in this incredibly awkward position. We're going to build up. We're going to start with 3-ball juggling, which should garner a polite round of golf applause. 4-ball juggling, which should be a dull roar. Where are my zombies at? I heard. And you should be as loud as possible. For 5-ball juggling, lords and ladies, applaud loudly and applaud quickly. It won't last very long.
That's what she said.
Don't make me laugh. I have to pee. 5-ball juggling. Here we go. Lords and ladies, I might mention this is the first time I've done this particular stunt in front of a live studio audience. You've seen it here first at the Great Plains Renaissance Fair. Here we go.
And he's okay!
I'm a little nervous about that one. Now, lords and ladies, I've mentioned before that I'm a professional entertainer. I'm not just a juggler. This next thing involves no juggling whatsoever.
Oh.
It does involve this. Does anybody know what this is?
Fairy catcher.
It does indeed appear to be a tennis racket without strings. Yeah, I call it broken. Hey, where are you guys going? Come on, I didn't leave when you got here. Seating available. Hey, lords and ladies, this does indeed appear to be a broken tennis racket, but since we're in the medieval ages, I call it a fairy catcher. Yeah, think about it. Now, let's see. Sir, put your hands in the air if you hear me out there. Shine down. Okay. What's your name, sir? Come on up here. Lords and ladies. Hold on, wait for it, wait for it. We gotta give you a proper introduction. Now, Austin, the city I was born in. True story, brother. Austin, Texas. Now, you seem like a pretty strong guy. I'd like you to try to break that for me. Go ahead, Austin. Put some muscle into it, buddy. You good? It's solid, is it not? Yeah, it is indeed. How big is it, do you think, from one thumb to the other?
1 foot.
About a foot. You're right. It's about 12.5 inches. 12.5. And it's how big do you think from here to here?
Half a foot.
8. You're actually right. Yeah, 8 inches. 12.5 at its largest point, 8 inches at its most narrow point. I'm going to attempt to take my entire body, Austin. My entire body, head to toe, top to bottom. 6'4", 372 pounds. My entire body and place it through this part of the fairy catcher. Yeah. And after that, my entire body through this part. Okay, I'm kidding about that. I can poke my head through there, though. Would you like to see? Now, lords and ladies, like I said before, I'm a professional entertainer. I'm not like normal people.
True story.
A normal person like yourselves. looks at something they have to do and says, how can I make this easier for myself?
Oh, there's Maria.
An entertainer looks at something they don't necessarily have to do and say, how can I make it harder, more difficult, more entertaining? So with that in mind,
Underdog.
I'm going to attempt to squeeze my entire body through the fairy catcher while standing on top of this. This, lords and ladies, appears to be an exercise ball, but it's not. It's not squishy, it's hard. It's called a rolling globe of death.
Of death.
I'll remember. A quick impression. Now, lords and ladies, this is a 2-foot sphere of extremely hard, extremely period,
Right.
plastic. You can always tell the Rennies on that joke. Now, Austin, I'm not a very tall guy. Yeah. I know, right? When I put my foot up here, you can see my knees almost level with my chest. I don't want to blow a knee out, all right? So I'm just going to use you to help me get up on the ball. You okay with that? All right, I'd like to take a nice, wide, comfortable stance, face the audience. Perfect, perfect. Just relax, buddy, just relax. Have you been on stage before? No? I can tell you're a little tense. Here, let me get that. Right along the spine. There you go. All right, all right. All right. Now, Austin, did you come here with anybody?
My family.
Your family? All right. Is that your dad with the bald head?
Yeah.
What's his name? Lance, is it all right if I hold on your son Austin like this? You can keep him. I can keep him.
Thank you for loving me.
Do I get a deposit at least? As is, no warranty. Oh, I like your dad. All right, Austin, I'm just gonna hold on to your shoulder with both hands, actually. And on the count of 3, I'm gonna use you to propel me up onto the ball, okay? On 3, 2, 1. Hold on, guys, come around this way. Come around this way. I got it. I'm a professional. Just show me on the doll where he touched you. You're doing great, Austin. You're doing great. Excellent, man. All right, what I want you to do is look straight ahead. Look straight ahead. I'm just gonna hold on to your head. Hello, Calvin. You're fine, buddy. You're fine. Just look straight ahead. Keep your neck nice and stiff, nice and strong. That's perfect. That's perfect. Lords and ladies, on the count of 3, I'll let go of Austin's head, attempt to balance on the globe under my own power. At that point, he's going to make his way back to his standing position. You will applaud both him and me. I call this stunt Austin and the ball. In 3, 2, 1.
Up! Yay!
Thank you, Austin. I couldn't have done it without you, buddy. I barely did it with you. My kind of audience, all right? Now, lords and ladies, I know some of you lay awake at night into the wee hours of the morning, wondering to yourselves, how do I put myself through a fairy catcher?
Not really.
Constantly.
I'm glad you asked. I, Crazy Boy Coy, will give you a live demonstration and step-by-step directions. Step number 1, buy a fairy catcher. It helps. Step number 2, remove the strings. It's important. Step number 3, the elbows. 1 elbow at a time, just like you put on your pants. Check it out. I'm a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Hey, Austin, I'm a Tyrannosaurus Rex with a really nice wardrobe. I love my job. Step number 4, Step number 4, where it starts to get difficult. Step number 4 is your head. Your head's not very squishy, and the tennis racket is oblong. That's this shape, children. Oblong. So it helps if you turn your head to the side, like you're eating a hard-shelled taco. Remember to take your hat off first, and be very careful with your earrings.
If you have any.
Hi. Keep in mind, lords and ladies, this is my job.
Hopefully you don't fall.
Step number 5, what I like to call spirit fingers. Yeah. Step number 5, where it starts to get painful. Step number 5, one shoulder at a time. I'm gonna start with the left shoulder. My left, not yours. It's this one over here. The left shoulder slides up and through the fairy catcher.
You got a fairy.
So, and nobody cares. For those of you wondering, I said everything on this stage is 100% real. The earring in my earrings, or the earrings in my ears are 100% real. You can see if I took my earring out. Check this out. I call this my 2-finger wave. I do that on the bus. People leave me alone. I got put this away. Hold on. I don't have pockets. What do you want from me? Step number 6. Step number 6. And I know what you're thinking right about now. That is one sexy juggler. No, you're thinking step number 6. The right shoulder is quite a bit more difficult. That's because it is. Yeah. It's also quite a bit more painful. So I expect quite a bit more applause.
You don't get nothing like it.
Here we go. Step number 6, the right shoulder. In 3, 2, 1. Up! Don't laugh. This could be you.
But it's not, because I'm smart.
Woo! It's a boy! Mazel tov. Step number 7, the chest. Oh, God. It's a little tight.
Boy, yes.
Thank you for noticing. It's at this point in the stunt. I'm glad I'm not pierced. Anymore. True story. It's also at this point in the stunt, I'm glad I'm not a woman.
Anymore.
Hold on. Ouchie number 1. That wasn't, no, you're fine. I'm still. And the beer belly. Step number 8, the hips. What I like to call party rocking. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Under the age of 12, you may refer to it as the potty dance. A true story. I got to this point in my show one time, a little girl in the audience stood up and yelled out, "This should be the easy part." A mean little girl. Step number 9, the feet. There's 2 ways I can do this. Safe and slow, or dramatic and dangerous. I guess I don't even have to ask. dramatic and dangerous is both feet at the same time. We'll attempt to jump up off the globe, whip the fairy catcher out from underneath my feet, and land back on the globe. If something goes horribly wrong and I come flying out into the audience, I was gonna say catch me. Okay, if you don't feel like catching me, break my fall with your children. They're squishy. If you don't feel like using your children, use somebody else's. Step number 9, the feet.
Wait, so you're letting the fairy go?
I know. Step number 9, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, up! Step number 10, quit your day job. Lords and ladies, we have reached the almost end of the show. Don't leave! You're gonna miss the finale if you leave right now. It involves juggling. And that's, no, I started with balancing.
Sorry.
Anyways, I'm gonna attempt to juggle 3 very different objects for you for my finale. Before I do that, I'd like to say thank you for coming and watching my show. In all honesty, this is how I make my living. This is my 5th year as a full-time professional entertainer. And if you guys didn't come and watch my show, I'd have to get a real job. That's not funny. Okay, seriously, take a moment. Picture me working at McDonald's. Go ahead.
You want fries with that?
I don't know, can you see over the counter?
Lords and ladies, at the end of the show, I'll be doing the traditional passing of the hat, collecting your donations. If you have any money, I'd like some. $1 or 3 means that I did a good job. If you remember from the beginning of the show, my job was to help you have a good time. Yeah? Yeah. $5 means I did a great job, and you guys had a great time. $10 means I did a fantastic job, and you had a fantastic time. $20 goes a long way towards getting me drunk.
What about 100?
I know, right? Lords and ladies, for the finale of my show, at the end of the show, if you don't have any money, come up and shake my hand. Take a business card. I have business cards available. I'm available for hire. You can find me on Facebook or at crazyboycoy.com. If you don't have any money, come up and give me a handshake, or I'll be giving away free hugs. Yeah, I know. It's how I towel off.
Right?
Lords and ladies, the finale of the show involved juggling 3 very different objects. One you've already seen me juggle, the red rubber ball. The second object is a dangerous object. That would be the lit flaming torch of death. Just making sure you're paying attention. The third object would be a very difficult object.
The globe?
The globe. That would be a very difficult. The third object would be a bowling ball. This, lords and ladies, is a real bowling ball. To prove that it's a real bowling ball, we're going to play a little game with the children I like to call catch. Let's see, ma'am, will you hold on to that for me? It is indeed a real bowling ball, is it? Yeah. How much do you think it weighs? 5 pounds. You're a little low. It's actually a 12-pound bowling ball. It's a 12-pound bowling ball. I bought it at the thrift store. It's true. You know why I bought it at the thrift store? Because it says right there. Fireball. Yeah. I figured it was appropriate. Now, lords and ladies, as I said before, I'm a juggler, so I have to make things a little bit harder. Oh, actually, I almost forgot. You know what? We're going to replace the ball. You know what my show needs a little bit more of? Fire. More cowbell.
Hey, Coy, your next show is going to be different, isn't it?
Yes, my next show will be completely different stunts, including fire breathing while standing on top of that ladder.
Yeah!
I know.
At 1:30.
At 1:30. The lords and ladies, 3 very different objects. Very difficult and different options. Oh, to make it even more difficult, I'm going to attempt this stunt while standing back on top of the rolling globe.
Oh, God.
Austin, you're up!
3, 2, 1.
Up!
Austin, did you see that? It was a miracle. Praise be to God. All right. Lords and ladies, to make this even a little bit more exciting. Not that kind of show, relax.
There, children.
I'm going to attempt to play the kazoo. At the same time, lords and ladies, 3 object juggling while standing on the globe and playing the kazoo. I believe appropriate theme would be the Imperial Death March. Yeah. If you don't know what that is, go watch Star Wars. Lords and ladies, this will be your last chance to applaud for me, so applaud loudly. Wait for it, wait for it. One last thing.
No!
Yes! Laughter is the best medicine. Lords and ladies, again, thank you for coming to my show. I really do appreciate it. I hope you had a good time. Life's too short to not have a good time. That's my personal philosophy. I hope you embrace it as well. Here we go. I could die. I hope you like it.
Just eat it.
Shut up.
Wrong way.
There you go.